Hey everyone, I'm Fernanda, or you can just call me Chimmy. Right off the bat, let me start off the video by saying that I think this is gonna be my last video of the year. And so I just want to express my gratitude to you all. 2025 has been such an amazing year for me. I started the year with around 6,000 subscribers and now I'm close to 30k. This is absolutely insane, oh my gosh. And so I just want to thank you guys. Also, I want to go ahead and shout out that I actually have a Discord now. This server was a gift by SpinoGX, so if you'd like to interact, share art, and more, you should definitely join. The link to that will be in my description. But now we can go back to the actual video. It's been a while since I've tried traditional art. The last time I did a traditional art related video was in my sketchbook tour, which I finished around my first week of school. And now I'm on winter break, so it's been around 4 months. And I'm gonna be honest, in between that time, I did not draw traditionally at all. Maybe a few doodles here and there, but no finished pieces. I really missed it and have been wanting to get back into it. And as if the world heard my thoughts, I was reached out by the lovely people at Arrtx to try out their dual tip Oros alcohol markers. I was so excited to try these out and thought that a fun way to use them would be while trying to do interactive art. I got this video idea from Bite Size Sponge's video where she also tried interactive art and it looked like a lot of fun, and so I wanted to give it a shot too. For those of you who may not know what interactive art is, it's basically drawings in your sketchbook which you can play around with. You can make your drawing's eyes move, have things pop out, and so much more. It's crazy how creative a lot of these get. But before we get into that, let's first check out the markers. Right off the bat, the packaging these markers came in looks so cute. I love the handle it comes with and all the colors look beautiful. The pack came with 90 of them and they're just all so pretty. Oh my gosh, I've never owned so many markers in my life, so you can imagine how excited I am. Each marker has a brush tip and a chisel tip on each side. The markers also come with a test sheet, which I went ahead and used for each one, which took a bit to do but was totally worth it because then I got a good idea on how each color would look. Alcohol markers tend to change color the more they say on the paper, and so testing them out is really useful to get a good idea on what final results you'll be receiving. So if you'd also like to try these markers out, you can buy them using the link in my description. Like I mentioned, I'm going to try interactive art with these markers, and since it had been a while that I've drawn traditionally, I decided to stay within my comfort zone and draw my OCs for this. Come on, you saw that coming. Of course we had to end the year with some OC content. But first, I went onto TikTok and saved some of the interactive art ideas I wanted to try out. I'm doing 3 of them in this video and will leave links to all of the tutorials I used in the description, cause without them I'd be so lost. Honestly, props to anyone that comes up with these ideas cause they're all so unique. This page is mainly going to be Daphne centered since I always have such a fun time drawing her. I wanted to really get a good idea on how these markers worked, and so I started off with a normal drawing of Daphne that I would then add a flip phone onto. The flip phone is a popular interactive idea I see which looked easy enough to do, and so of course I had to try it. Plus it matches out of the norm setting which is set in 2005, so it was perfect. But first I started with coloring Daphne. I stuck with only using the brush tip side since I felt I had more control over it. The markers all felt super soft while using them and I think they looked great. I'm no pro at using alcohol markers by all means. There are some areas I messed up on, but not anything too noticeable. I was kinda scared in the beginning since I thought some areas looked streaky, but I just need to remember that alcohol markers need time to settle in cause once they did, it looked so smooth. I found myself having a lot of fun with these markers and really enjoyed the results they gave me. The flip phone was actually the first thing I tried coloring with these markers and thought they looked great. The phone is a bit bigger than what it should be, but I think it works in this case so that it has just as much focus as Daphne does. I kept the phone's design pretty simple, but after finishing the drawing and coloring it, I realized that it would have been so much more cuter if I had added keychains to it. I just feel like that would have been something Daphne had. But regardless, I'm still really happy with it. This craft was definitely the easiest one to do since all I had to do was fold the phone halfway and glue the bottom part to the area she'd be holding it in. Then I added her thumb onto the drawing so that the hand wouldn't look weird. I'm still missing the other fingers, but I don't think it's too noticeable. Or at least I hope it isn't. Either way, this one turned out so cute and was really easy to do, so I 100% recommend this one. The next one I'm trying out is definitely a step up from the last one, which is a paper waterfall. Once I saw this one, I knew I had to try it out. It just looked so cool and I had a pretty good idea on what I wanted each slide to have. Since my main drawing had Daphne holding a phone, I thought that it'd be cute to have each drawing in the paper waterfall be a picture she'd have on her camera roll. The first drawing would be of Hana, and so I drew her in a simple pose holding up a peace sign. The second drawing is just a simple picture of Daphne, and then for the final one, I drew her and Hana doing the eye trend that was going around a while back. To be fair, a majority of Daphne's pictures would be of herself, but I mean, there would definitely be some of Hana on there since she is one of the few, if not the only person Daphne can stand. At first, I added the corner camera focus thingies, but as the drawings went on, I ended up forgetting about them. It's okay though, hopefully you still get the idea. For these drawings, I was scared that they would end up messy since the drawings for this craft were pretty tiny. Of course you can make them bigger, but since I wanted them to fit onto the page without blocking the main drawing, I had to make them pretty tiny. But I was pleasantly surprised to see that even though the drawing space was smaller, I was still able to keep it pretty neat. I used the same coloring technique I did for the main drawing, putting down the base color first, going over it with the shading colors, and then putting the finished details down with colored pencils. And for the line art, I like adding a thicker outline once I finished the drawing. Another thing I was pleasantly surprised with was how well these markers blended with each other. Hana has the bottom of her hair dyed, and so I was scared that the colors wouldn't blend nicely, but I was proven wrong. Even as someone who doesn't know how to properly use alcohol markers, I was able to achieve a nice blend. I am super proud of how all of these turned out, but now came the difficult part of turning them interactive. And it was definitely a challenge. Not because the craft itself was hard to say, but purely because I don't know how to follow instructions correctly. For starters, the craft required a long strip of paper, and I ended up cutting mine too small to use. Then, once I got that figured out, I had to make 3 folds on the paper for each drawing I'd glue down. I ended up gluing the drawings incorrectly though, twice. I don't know how I kept messing up. The video was clearly showing me how to do it, and my brain just wasn't comprehending it. Once I finally figured that out though, I had to make a sort of hoop that would go around the strip I've made. Then I would glue one part of it to the backside of the drawings and the other onto my sketchbook. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this correctly, but like I said, I'll leave links to the tutorials in the description which definitely do a better job than me. But after all that struggle, I ended up really loving the final results. I'm absolutely obsessed with this one, and it's definitely my favorite. It's just a lot of fun to constantly pull on. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. Oh, I love them. And now for the final interactive craft, I chose the spinner. Or at least that's what I think it's called. It's basically being able to spin your art around. The drawings I did for this one are more simple than the others, mainly serving as background accessories. I wanted to do a heart and a star for this one. The tutorial I saw had them using a circle, but I figured that any shape would work for this one and just went for it. So the tutorial for this one looked pretty simple to me. The only extra items I needed was tape and an X-Acto knife, which thankfully I had. I first cut out and colored the heart I made, then I had to cut another tinier hole inside of that heart, which is where the X-Acto knife was needed. Then I traced that tiny hole shape and made another bigger circle around it with 4 equal lines connecting it to the tiny circle. Next, I used scissors to make cuts on the lines I drew and folded 2 of those sides. You can also color this piece to match your shape since in the end you'll be able to see a bit of this. And finally, I had to put 2 of the sides I made into the heart and put the tape onto the back side of it. Don't tape the slips onto your heart though. You want to face the tape on the side you'll be putting onto your sketchbook, if that makes any sense. And then that's it. I messed up a bit on this one, but it was mainly my fault, not the tutorials. I also went ahead and made the star one too. I didn't show the process of this one, but that's only because it would have been the same thing. And that's the interactive page completed. I ended up adding some more final details off camera and am obsessed with the final results. I really miss traditional art and think this turned out amazing for my first time attempting this. I definitely want to try more in the future, maybe some more difficult ones. If I had to rank these on a scale of least difficult to most difficult, it would go flip phone, spinner, and paper waterfall. But regardless, I recommend you try all of these out because they're so much fun. I also love the final results of all the drawings I did for these. I was pretty nervous in the beginning because I really didn't want to mess up, but the more I kept using the markers, the more comfortable I felt. I really want to improve using alcohol markers, and so don't be surprised if by the next sketchbook tour, a majority of the drawings are made using them. And don't forget, if you'd like to get these markers for yourself, you can get them using the link in my description. The Oros 90 alcohol marker set comes in 90 colors, including a wide range of skin tones and pastel shades, making it perfect for various daily creative scenarios. They even have a promo code you can use to get 15% off on their US Amazon store that's valid throughout December 23rd to the 27th. So what are you waiting for? This is the perfect chance to get these markers if you'd like to try them out for yourself. Thank you so much to Arrtx for sending me these markers, and thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I wish you all happy holidays and a great new year. I hope to see you in 2026, and as always, I hope you have a great day.